Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of the colleagues here.
Dave.
Nate.
And today we have a viewer request from, Darth Gamer 21?
Yes, he requested a character build
Of a Warforged Barbarian. So what do we guys think?
Well, you know, when I think of Warforged, I think nature-y and wilderness.
Oh, absolutely.
Or maybe not.
I think of Killing Machine, or the ability to be a killing machine.
Well, Barbarian is also that.
I don't know if that's machinist or not, but, you know.
But possibly. So, Warforged Barbarian, I guess we have our class and our race picked already. So the question then becomes, you know, which path do you go for Barbarian? Which background are we going to go? And let's look. I guess let's look at what Warforged brings to being a barbarian.
Right. So Warforged, you know, right now we're operating, or at least I'm operating under the opinion that, you know, the PDF that Watts put out is a playtest. So Warforged is bringing you +1 strength and +1 con, ideal for Barbarian.
Yeah.
And you get that plus natural armor. You know, it's only one, but it's the only thing in the game so far that's actually offering that out there, which totally puts it in my mind that since it doesn't fit with anything else that's out there, that it's totally just a playtest idea.
Right.
But since that's what we have to work with, let's work with it.
Okay.
So that natural armor is absolutely going to be fantastic for a barbarian because the current, you know, 5th edition barbarian build really goes for that. Get rid of that armor thing. You know,
right.
we don't need to wear that. So you get the
armors for pansies.
You're getting the dex, you're getting your con, you're getting a shield, and you're getting that extra one that nobody else gets. So I think that makes it fantastic, especially since 5th edition has a lower dial on the armor classes in comparison to previous editions.
But you know, that being said, though, with only getting +1s to your stats, you know, your dex is already kind of taking a hit because you don't have that extra +1 to play with.
That's true.
So, but you know, that being said, a +1 armor class is equal to +2 to dex.
Right.
So it's definitely helpful. You know, you could definitely pull off a 16 con, so that's a 3. Your one from your one for being Warforged is a 4. It's 14 armor class. Slap on a shield, that's a 16 armor class. And then if you can eke a couple points out of dex.
So if you put your 13 into strength, that bumps it up to a 14. You put your 14 in dex, that actually gets you 2. That's putting you at essentially full plate at first level.
Essentially.
Naked.
I don't need full plate. I am full plate.
So that's pretty good to be able to say, all right, I've got a shield and I'm essentially the equivalent of full plate.
And let's not forget that overpowered ability of being immune to disease.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the immunities that you gain from being the living construct are really cool.
Not anymore. You don't only get really immunity to disease.
Well, you're getting immunity to disease.
And you don't need to breathe.
You don't need to breathe. You know,
Well,
you don't need to eat, but you can still benefit from, you know, ingestion.
I did throw immunity to having all the effects of breathing. So the things that are gonna hurt you when you breathe that you don't need to deal with now, like drowning, immunity to drowning.
So you know, this makes me think back to our rat catcher build, and I'm like, oh my god, the Warforged would be the ultimate rat catcher. He could just roll around in the sewage filth all day long.
He could be the trap.
He could be.
He just sits there waiting.
Yeah, because, you know, he wouldn't care about the smell because he doesn't breathe, and he wouldn't need to eat anything, and, you know, he's immune to all those nasty, icky diseases that are down there.
Yeah. So, okay, so which path do we go?
Well,
Berserker or Totem? I really am not feeling the Totem for this, even though it is kind of the better path.
I think it's the better path. I think if you're gonna go, you know, full barbarian with this thing, something's happened with your quote-unquote programming, so it kind of switches that primal instinct. So I would think, you know, the path of the Berserker would probably be a really
I'm
cool.
not feeling the totem path either.
Yeah.
Something about getting spirit animal help and stuff.
No. I think unless they're mechanical spirit animals.
Maybe he's from Mechanus.
Yeah, it's the whole Transformer thing, Cybertron. You know. I agree with Ted. Like, I feel like this guy is like a leftover from the war, and like he was deactivated on the battlefield, and something reactivates him, and now he's like kind of like the frenzied berserker killing machine.
You know, he was programmed for war, built for war, whatever terminology you want to use, and you know now it's it's all he has. You know, so it's
now he's glitched and it's like
killer be killed, killer be killed,
kill.
So, but you know, we need to figure out what kind of background this guy's going to have.
That that's actually kind of the tricky part because I'm like, ugh, Outlander. So like
Outlander is so like. For an adventurer, it is the the epitome of what
a barbarian is.
Well, I mean, for a barbarian or just any adventurer. I mean,
whenever you're a loner, whenever you've got Strider complex,
it's classic.
You know, you're gonna have an Outlander.
And for a Warforged, soldier is also that same thing.
Yeah, but I think he's messed up. I think he's messed up in a way like he probably would have gained his he probably would have gained his background after he was reactivated. Mm-hmm. So maybe
kind of done a system wipe.
Yeah.
System reboot.
Stuff's messed up. Some things are still there, but some things aren't. So I would say I feel that could open him up to
something.
Well, did someone in town find him, and he doesn't seem to be in kill mode right now,
or how did he get reactivated? That could be a big thing too. Like, if we wanted to be a little bit different, we could go entertainer gladiator variant.
I like that. I think that works out really well for this one. Nate, I think he was leaning towards, putting out there an idea as a folk hero. Is that what you were...
Could be that. Maybe he saves a town, or he could be, it's a classic, like, I've lost my memory, what am I going to do? And you end up in, like, some clown suit entertaining children or something, something strange.
Although
but
that
not
doesn't
like
really
off the
jive
wall.
with the I'm a frenzied berserker.
That's what I mean. Like, how do you want to play that? Is it just I always like to kill things, because then you're not going to really be a very good PCable person. So this person obviously, going with the we're all playing this game together. He's got to be something that can actually talk to people.
What if
party.
we're going with like that frenzied berserker aspect is more like something causes you to lose it.
Yeah, I would say it's more when you actually, like, whatever switch is in your mind that says, all right, now I am fighting.
When you go into
I'm fighting until the other thing is dead.
When you go into the heat of combat, it triggers that, and you just are like...
It's like the classic Wolverine berserker rage, where he kind of just loses control.
Right.
Yeah,
it's after combat
I would
starts.
think in between all those combat phases, that or threats, that he would be something... different or messed up.
I'm leaning towards folk hero or gladiator.
That's where I was gonna say exactly. I like folk hero. Like somebody either brings him back to town or gets him set up, and he really he doesn't have any memories of fighting in the war, and he just kind of goes back to town to be somebody.
So like they find him in the fields, right, and he's like kind of like rusted over, and things have been growing on him. He's been there a while,
right?
And someone finally realizes that it's actually like a man-shaped thing under there, and they clean him off, and
right.
in the process of cleaning them, they like trigger the on switch or whatever. Or maybe they try and do some repairs.
Yeah, maybe they repair some of him. Maybe it's like
they do the Tin Man thing,
like the blacksmith's apprentice or something. Yeah. He's like needs some kind of assistance to get back to.
And so
somehow they pass a medicine check.
Yeah.
Well, medicine check for Warforged.
Yeah, it's called hammer and screwdriver, but so and they get him back to town and they don't know what to do with him, and he doesn't know what to do with himself, and they got the big burly robes and cloak on him, and then maybe this is a town that is heavily taxed, and the local lord's a bit of a tyrant, and his men come to do what they normally do. And for whatever reason, maybe the people don't have enough of what they're supposed to normally give, and he's just observing and watching, and he doesn't really understand what's going on until violence breaks out, and he's
like, oh no, I ain't having this.
And these people aren't equipped they're not equipped to deal with it, and they're really just kind of begging and pleading and being brutalized, and he's like, oh no, you don't, and then he starts snapping limbs.
Yeah, and because the person in town was the one who reactivated him, he knows what side of the war he's on.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, this dude helped me out, so now let me help him.
Yeah, these people are all on his, his side kind of thing.
So, I mean, that's how I would see the the folk hero going down.
Yeah, I think that's
Gladiator is the same scenario, but you're found by someone, a merchant or a trainer or something like that. They put you in the Pokeball and then they release you into the arena.
Warforged, I choose you.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
I would say the folk hero. Another thing that could be good. I was thinking like an ogre or something like that. Something monstrous. Just in case you don't want to have a whole bunch of political issues, like I'm on the run or something.
Well, I'm thinking for like a low-level adventure and starting out, and humans make the best monsters anyway. Everyone knows that.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to take this character, folk hero, Warforged Barbarian, and put him in your game, your folk hero-ness could be anything that you want. You're just trying to give a good spin for it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I wrestled an ogre to the ground at first level.
And then would it have been much more to give him the axe?
So I suppose
maybe he got helped by the commoners. While the ogre was stomping everybody else.
But here's the problem with that. In my opinion, the problem with that is it's not that it's a problem, but it doesn't really lend a whole lot towards that folk hero background coming into play later. Like that aspect.
That's true.
Like if you make it a local lord and really who's been taxing the people to death, like that can be an ongoing story and that can reoccur.
Right.
Unless the ogre was someone's enforcer.
Well, there's that.
There would have to be something else. Like more than just a two-dimensional monster killing as a beginning character.
So I don't know. I like humans as monsters.
I absolutely agree with you. I think
they're far more evil than any ogre I've ever met.
They make great great pieces for your political puppetry.
So I don't know. I think we've reassembled Johnny Five on this one.
I think so.
It's a basic build, but it doesn't mean it's not a fun one to play with and tinker with and get in the game with. So
absolutely,
you guys in the comments below, let us know what you think. While you're at it, hit like, share, and subscribe.
You can patronize us in a good way by checking out our Patreon account.
You can also check out our fan page on Facebook.
Until next time, stay nerdy.